The giant slides. Oh! Wait, so are you saying that Flea actually ripped off Paul McCartney?
Well,
in this video, we are gonna take a look at two of the most iconic bass lines from two of the most iconic bands of all time. Come Together by the Beatles and Give It Away by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And we are gonna show you how they are strangely similar.
Okay, so before we get into this video, I just want to give you a heads up that we've actually created a beautiful PDF workbook for you guys. You can download it totally for free, and it has all of the tab and all of the notation for the bass lines that we're going to be showing you today in the video. Click that link in the description, you can download it there for free. So first of all, Come Together. What album was this off, Ian?
Abbey Road.
Oh, iconic bass line, Paul McCartney on bass, and so beautiful. I've got it here, we're going to listen to it, and then we're going to get into it. Check this out.
The sh is amazing. Ringo. That's one of my favorite parts.
So check it out. What bass was he playing on this album?
Oh.
What bass was it?
I think he was using a Rick at this time and a jazz, but maybe he recorded it on the Hofner.
Let us know in the comments. But for this example, I am using a precision bass with flats.
Yes.
It was definitely done with flats, right? It definitely had flat wound strings on it. And it's a really cool bass line. It just starts off, it's in D, like a D minor kind of vibe,
yes.
right? And we just got D, D, and then he slides up and he hits this top minor third here, right? Which is the 7, 8, 9, 10th fret of the G string, so. But check it out, this slide is super important. This bass line doesn't work without the slide. And we'll actually get onto why Give It Away now as well. Red Hot Chili Peppers doesn't work without the slide, right? You need the slide, so.
And he's sliding to the 5 as well, correct?
He's sliding to the 12th fret of the A string, which is, the 5th of the chord of that D minor, so. And then he just resolves on the D, which is the 12th fret of the D string there, right? Now, loads of people actually play this incorrectly, and they play 3 strikes on this first bit, right? They go strike, 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 right? Strike, strike. Sounds cool, right? Strike, strike.
All 3 strikes. Right.
McCartney didn't do that. He actually played strike, strike, or pick, pick, and then he slides without picking it. Check it out.
And here's my question. Do you think McCartney played it actually starting with his 3rd finger?
Woo!
I wonder.
I wonder.
And I also think he played it with a pick. Plectrum.
I've got it covered.
I want that 3rd finger. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just that level of detail is fun.
It's fun. It's fun and it's important, okay?
And McCartney could have just played Ds, right? Or he could have spent time down in this end of the bass and played chord tones. That could be the bass line, right?
Yeah.
It would outline the chords right. Exactly.
Whatever.
Just driving that. But it's so beautiful. Right. And it just goes to show, if you use the chord tones, right, of this D minor chord, D, F, A, D, and if you want to get that flat 7 in as well, that is up for grabs, the C, it helps you write lines. So you could play. Right?
Yeah.
Any of that is up for grabs, right? But McCartney didn't do that. He played one of the coolest bass lines ever. And part of it is that slide. You're so right. The slide is so
If he writes a few more songs, he might, somebody might spot him. Next up, iconic bass line. I first heard this when I was 16-year-old. I was around in my friend's house, Sam Viney. Man, he played me this track and I was just sort of like,
oh, I know.
It melted my face.
Yes. The giant slides.
Oh! Sorry. I know we didn't even get to the bass line, but I need that again. Oh, my word. Hear that slide?
Yeah. Okay. So this begs the question. Did Flea rip off Paul McCartney?
No, I don't think he did. I think that maybe he got inspiration from it, but if I listen to it,
right,
the two things that are really similar about these bass lines is you hear that root note and then that slide up.
Yes.
And it's high, right?
Right.
And then we've got, right, you play, you've got the tone, you've got the tone. Yeah.
Ah!
Like, killer. Okay, so there's a load of interesting things here. We've actually got a clip from Flea in the studio with Rick Rubin, and shout out to Rick Rubin as well, because it was kind of like he had such a huge, obviously, influence over this entire record, and it's Flea in the studio writing this bass line.
Yeah, that was a cool little fill. See that? That should be the vibe, like what you just.
Yeah, it is so hard because there's so little time in each thing.
But just keep them really simple. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum.
Okay.
Ba-dum. Ba-dum.
Okay.
Top or bottom?
From the top, one more time.
Mix them up and keep it really simple. Don't go too notey.
What I got, you gotta get it, put it in you. Feeling with the feeling, don't stop, continue.
Space, he says.
Wall Mark II, I think.
Oh, is it?
I'm
wall.
looking, it's a Wall Mark II. So this is a Wall Mark I. This is a Wall Mark II. Yeah. Let's break the bass line down for them, but then also let's talk about the tone, because they're like a bit of a monster tone going on over this side of the room.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. This bass is so inspiring. Wall Mach 1 from 1984?
I think, yeah, 1984,
it's just incredible. But what Flea is doing is he plays hard. He goes hard after these notes,
he does
right?
Go hard.
So it's like really digging into this A.
Yeah.
So to get that vibe, right, even if you don't have a Wall Mach 1, you can smash your bass, right?
You do need rounds on it. Like, this isn't going to do it. This has got flats on it, right? Actually, let me just turn the tone.
It's a vibe, though. Yeah, but I kind of dig that too. I mean, it's hip, but yes, this, like the sound of the early 90s, the sound of that wall, what I have going on down here is super simple. It's just an SVT model in the HX Stomp. So it just gives a little bit of amp-like grind. And then the wall.
Turn that off. So you turned it off for me earlier, and I was like, oh. Because it's like easier. We just got a little SVT, sort of like amp simulation. Yeah. When you say little, for me, I'm like, oh, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. But then you played it, and I was like, oh, it makes a big difference. So this is it without the SVT on the HX Stomp.
Doesn't quite have the right vibe.
Yeah,
right?
Now put it on.
Yeah, if you put it on and you're hitting the bass.
Completely different.
Yeah.
That's the vibe, isn't it? Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm playing the A, and then I'm hitting the bass with my plucking hand and playing a ghost note. Yeah. Right, and what you're doing there is you're coming sliding up the D string.
All the way.
Yes. To this E. So if this tune is in A, right, we're sliding up to the E, which is the fifth, and then we're playing that flat 7. So really, we just have these notes, right? And what it's doing is it's making like an A7 chord without the third. But then Flea comes down and defines it as like a minor vibe because he's playing that minor third down low.
Yeah.
But up high, that's what's going on. So slowly. And that that is the part that really Rubin contributes to the most. This,
Well,
how
that there,
he
then.
finishes it. Yeah, you know, Rubin keeps going, no, not this. Or, it's not that. He doesn't want that stuff. He wants it to be And so this becomes sort of like a two-section phrase. The beginning of it is, and that's break it down. C space open A C A. Hitting it hard.
Yeah.
But then the second time there's more space. The second time he plays.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do that again. Do all of it. Do
yeah.
it all of it, right? From
Yeah.
right from the top.
So
you can hear it in
both
context.
phrases.
Yeah. Remember to get the PDF workbook for this. We put it down below for you. Do you know what? I know that I know in my heart of hearts that there's no way that Flea obviously stole this from Paul McCartney
Right.
and ripped him off. But I kind of wish that he was inspired by it and one, amazing track had such an amazing contribution
Yes.
to another track. Like, I don't think it actually happened, but I do wish that it did happen. How
Well-
cool would have that
well,
been?
I mean-
if one night Flea was there listening to McCartney do his thing and he was like, you know what? Did
Well,
the
it's
vibe.
not out of the question because
cool.
I mean, Come Together
Yeah.
is massive.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a bass player, you learn
Maybe
that line.
subliminally it went in there
Yeah.
sometime,
I mean,
yeah.
and can you talk about the theory of how these are the same, but also how they're different? Because they're emphasizing different parts of the chord, right?
Yeah, like that original one, with McCartney, this
We're in the key of D minor, right?
D minor, we played root, slide up to the 5 of the chord, minor third, and then back to the root.
So McCartney is including the minor third in that figure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Flea does, but he does it down here. So he goes,
In A.
he goes like, so check this out. He's going root,
Yep.
slides to the 5.
Yes.
Exactly the same as
McCartney.
Exactly the same, okay?
Yes.
But he goes root, slides to the 5, same as McCartney, but instead of playing the minor third, he plays the flat 7 of the chord, that stanky note, right? That
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, so hits that flat 7, and then he plays the minor third.
Down
So he
below.
displaces it once. So
Yeah.
theoretically, from a theory point of view, the bass lines are actually very similar as well. I think it's freaking awesome.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. And as we said before, make sure you grab that PDF as well. Get it from the description below as well. Ian, I freaking love that bass. I love this thing that you've got going on, the big Tone Monster HX Stomp thing.
Gotta get you one.
I've got to get one.
Yeah.
Dudes, thanks so much for watching today. I've been Scott Devine. This has been Ian Martin Allison, and we will see you next time. Take it easy.